Hello, thank you so much for having me. Well, we have talked to our soldiers who are still trapped there and who had the chance to retreat. And they told us that they understand that it is a suicide mission, but that they would not retreat. They will be protecting Mariupol till the last person standing. Right now, the most important point for us is to make sure that we get the civilians out. You cannot even imagine 2 days ago when we were able, along with the United Nations and Red Cross, to get 156 people out. We were all in tears. It was so emotional. It was the result of so many negotiations, steps, discussions, etc. So that 156 people were able to have future, to have life. And right now, there are still children that are in Azovstal, and we are working with the United Nations to get Russians to let them out, as well as the wounded soldiers, and as well as elderly and women, like everybody who cannot be fighting. Unfortunately, right now, because the fighting continues and intensifies, it is very complicated, and we do not know if these negotiations will be successful. The issue that we are facing is that Russians are preparing for their May 9th. It's the victory day that post-Soviet countries were celebrating as a victory in Second World War. It's a day like with all the parades on the main squares. So right now Putin is pushing to have some victory to show to his nation, and he will probably want to have the Mariupol as his victory. We, of course, are pushing not to let him do that, but he will be throwing all his forces into conquering the city and making sure there's no Ukrainian soldiers left there.
Yeah, and I noticed the EU flag there behind you. The EU has said it plans a Russian oil ban and war crimes sanction. Boris Johnson, of course, the UK Prime Minister, was the first international Prime Minister to address your Parliament the other day. I just wondered what your reflections are at this moment about how the EU is reacting to this at the moment and how the UK has responded.
So EU have really came up to the plate and stepped up with the sanctions. We really are expecting that the sixth package that includes the oil ban would not be amended a lot and would be voted as soon as possible. It will harm Russia so that they will lose over $75 billion. However, I need to let you know that this sanction package will start acting in 6 months. So whatever you have seen right now, what's going on in Mariupol, in other cities of Ukraine, the whole war will have to continue for 6 months right now. So it's incredibly painful for my nation that we are paying with all the time that is being used by the nations to prepare to get rid of Russian gas and oil. We are paying for that with our lives. And this is actually exactly what Boris Johnson said when he addressed Ukrainian parliaments 2 days ago. He was the first international leader who said, we were wrong, we should have started sanctions, we should have started all the activities in 2014 when Russia invaded Ukraine for the first time. And this is what we have been telling the world for a long time. 8 years my country is fighting with Russia. 8 years the world was doing nothing. And right now, when countries start to realize what's going on, when nations start coming up to the plate, improving sanctions, sending us weapons, it's all time. It takes a lot of time for the democratic countries to organize, to go through all the bureaucratic procedures. And we are paying for this time with our lives.
Yeah,
and this is critical right now.
I understand. Yeah, absolutely. Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to say, look, I agree with you completely, and really, please don't misunderstand me when I say this. You know, we all salute your immense bravery and your immense courage. But at the same time, I must say I'm very surprised to see an EU flag behind you because, as far as I can see, they've not particularly done anything, and in fact, they have been funding the war against you, as far as I can see. If I was you, I must say I would struggle to sit in front of an EU flag, given the money that they are paying Russia on a daily basis, which is funding the war. But for the first time now, it does really appear as though the international community is thinking that Ukraine really actually could seriously beat Russia. We, for example, have been sending a lot of arms to you guys. The Czech Republic, I believe, are doing the same. And we're only doing that now because we really, really, really do think that you guys can win. And that's a tremendous feather in your cap, a tremendous feather in the Ukrainians' caps as well. Do you think you will beat the Russians?
I am sure that we will beat the Russians since the day one. If anyone allows themselves here to think differently, we will not stand up another day. You have to push yourself and believe in things that the whole world told you that are impossible. And coming back to the European Union, you know, in 2014, my country faced this question: do we want to be with Russia and move together with them, or do we want to join EU and move with the democratic countries? And my country made a choice, and we have it written in our constitution: joining EU and joining NATO. And this is actually exactly the point why Putin attacked, because he said that he cannot have near his border the country that wants to join NATO and the EU. This is why I have both flags behind my back, because it's aim of my people, of Ukrainian people who made their clear choice. There could be flaws in European Union, there could be flaws in NATO, and I can talk to you hours of what should have been done differently. But when we are choosing between democracy and autocracy, when we are choosing between countries that respect each other and allow themselves to develop, and countries that attack each other and threat themselves with nuclear weapons, our choice is very clear. We are willing to work together with the democratic countries, with the European Union, on building the new, improved, great world. And this is why we are so thankful for all the support that really is starting coming up together. It was not so particular at the very beginning, this is for sure. But right now, it's coming up. And I just want to thank for every step that has been taken to the United Kingdom and its government, to the European Union countries, and to encourage everybody to speed up. Because we will be standing, we will be fighting, but we do need the world's support on that. Because we do believe that we will win. And we are happy that the world right now starts to believe in it as well, not only in the words, but in people's hearts.
Indeed, and we wish you every success. I do think you will send the Russians packing, and I commend you guys so much for what